Alright, so let's talk about setting up an AdWords for YouTube or AdWords for video campaign. And these are in a different place. They're not actually located right here in the dashboard. So what you want to do is hit Create Campaign and go down to the online video. And once you do that, whenever you log back into the dashboard, you need to go back down here on the bottom left and click All Video Campaigns. And that's where the video campaigns are housed. And right now they're calling it AdWords for Videos, a separate dashboard. And so what we have here is, let's just go ahead and set up a campaign. So we hit the Add a Campaign button here and fill in, again, this is nothing new if you're familiar with AdWords. All these options are the same, except what I want to note is you want to turn off YouTube search and Google Display Network. We talked about that in the presentation. Everything else you can adjust as you want, based on the geographics. If you're doing accelerated delivery, so you want the stuff to show up faster. And then here's where you put in the URL. You can either search for a video, or you can paste the link to the video, and that'll go in right there. So what we use here instead of ad groups they just call them targeting groups or targets. So when we're setting that up, again, we're going off the presentation. So first one is the list. Now here's where you set the bidding, and you actually can do, this is where you change, because I always forget, this is where you can change the bid per format. So you noticed, remember in the presentation there's two types of ads, the InDisplay and InStream. Here, if you want to bid more for InDisplay, or if you want to bid more for InStream, this is where you do that. I generally will start out with them about the same, but it really just depends on the campaign, if what exactly you're targeting and what ad format is the big one. So then we're going to set up, first one is remarketing. So this is where you go to targeting, and these are the remarketing lists. So you have your AdWords remarketing list. So this is any AdWords list that you've got set up that you're using inside AdWords, you can tap and use in YouTube. And then you also have, if you've linked the channels, which I'll show you here in a second, you can target your YouTube remarketing list. And then in AdWords, you can do the same thing. I mean, this is AdWords for video, but in AdWords for regular AdWords, you can target these lists as well. So that's the first one. The second one that I recommend setting up is placements. And so here is, you can add them manually by using the tool that I showed you. One is, well, you can do it manually yourself. You can just go to YouTube, and if you're like looking for, say, people who are interested in AdWords, maybe you sell. So like if someone was interested in AdWords coaching and you offered AdWords coaching, well, what are they going to look for on YouTube? Well, they're looking for AdWords tutorial stuff. So you type in AdWords tutorial, and then these are the videos that we'd want to have as placements. So you could sit here, right click, copy and paste that in here, and then add it. But that can take a little time. So VRoll is a really cool service that I use, that allows you to do this super fast. And then there's also, in the creation checklist that you got, there's another link for like a plugin that you can upload on your own site and do it. But I just use VRoll because it's a lot easier. So and then the third way is you can type it in here, and they will start giving you suggestions, and look at the titles to see, do I feel like this video, these videos are going to be relevant or not. So again, we're skipping the Google placement. So this looks like it's a channel, and you can click on it to see, is it a new channel. So look in here, this channel's 4 years old. These, it's like, okay, yeah, I guess you could advertise here, but you're probably not going to get in. That's just not going to have any impressions. But here's the thing: it doesn't hurt to have 500 placements and only 10 of them are getting impressions, because it doesn't cost you anything. So you can dump in, if you're really just trying to speed through it, you can just hit add all. Well, actually, no, manually add all of the YouTube ones. We don't want the Google display, and see how it goes. So that is the targeting group. And then, so let's just go ahead and say, now what about all these other ones? Well, I leave interests alone, and same with topics. So interest is targeting based on if the person has expressed interest in something. So if you're targeting, if they're interested in cooking, they don't have to be watching a cooking video. They just need to have been reading a cooking blog or watching a cooking video previously, and Google will show your ads. Topic means the videos have to be about this specific topic. And then keywords are similar to the display network keywords, where you want to play kind of taboo and have a group of similar themes. But again, we want to start off 80-20 this, get quick wins. So do remarketing and do placement targeting first, because that's, if it's not going to work there, you'll probably have trouble making it work at other spots. You can, uncheck if you know that, hey, our customers are not 18 to 24 at all, and they're definitely not 65, then, it doesn't hurt to uncheck those. So let's save. Okay, so put in a bid here. And I always start with bids at like 30 cents or so. But again, that's, just with, it's like someone asking you what's the best bid for a keyword. It's really going to depend on the industry. So let's save that. All right, so I did talk about linking your account. When you're logged in, this is where you go right here to hit link YouTube account. And you just hit plus link YouTube channel. And if you own the channel, you go, and it's tied to this login, you hit that. If not, they may ask you to log in. If someone else, if it's for a client, just hit this, and they'll give you a link that you send to them, and they follow the instructions. Once you link it, then you get to set up these remarketing lists inside of YouTube. And this is powerful stuff if you have a channel, because you can really segment. You see these list options here. Basically, you can target someone by if they viewed any video on your channel, if they've liked any video, if they've disliked, if they've commented, if they subscribed, unsubscribed. So you could have an unsubscribe campaign where you're like, hey, come on back and resubscribe. Or if they viewed particular videos, so you know what they saw. Again, going back to that target from the 3 crucial questions, you can have a specific video that speaks to them. So it really opens up a lot of opportunities for you. So name the list. Put the days, obviously 540 is the biggest, and leave it open. And the nice thing is they give you the past 30 days in there. So, and as soon as you have 100, you are ready to rock. So let's look at building ads. So we set up the targets, and the interesting thing is, like, you create the ads separately, and you can have certain ads matched to certain targets. So it's not like ad groups where the 2 ads in that ad group are the only ads that show. What these are separate, or the ads are separate and the targets are separate, and then you play a mix and match game and say, okay, target, see right here, if I had multiple targeting groups, I could say, okay, only use this ad for the remarketing list, but don't use it for the placements if I had a placement targeting group. So here's where you put in the video. So let's just we'll just use this one. So this is where you put in the video that that you've created that you're going to promote, and here are the options: the InStream and the InDisplay. So the InStream, this is where we put the destination URL. Remember, it does have to be Google approved. And the cool thing is, when you create the ad in here, it will automatically make a companion banner for you, which is a little banner that shows up over here. Otherwise, you can upload your own 300 by 60, and it'll be right there. Then there's the InDisplay. So this is the InStream and the InDisplay here. Again, there's a description line that shows up for only in the search results. When they're to the right of the video, it just shows a headline. So the headline is what's important, and you get to choose your thumbnail here. And you want to just keep in mind the headline's job is to attract the right people and disqualify the wrong people, because we don't want them clicking and charging you, because you get charged per click on InDisplay, you get charged per view, 30 seconds, see right here, on InStream. And then I always take them to the channel page, because if they go to the video watch page, then basically what happens now is you've basically got more competition. You'll want to test this, but I always start off with taking it to the channel page, because if they come to the video watch page like this, then they have all these other options calling them away to click off your video, versus what we want is the click here. And see, look, here's one right here. This guy, 3,000 probably qualified views, and he doesn't have anything about doesn't have the power intro. And so that's why YouTube doesn't work for most people, because they're missing that part. So then we create the ad groups, and you're ready to rock. That is all you need to set up the campaign. And once you've got it set up and running, you can, if you've linked, the other thing nice thing about linking the accounts is it'll show you how long people watch the video. You can see earn subscribers, earn like. These are all columns that you have to turn on, just like inside of AdWords. And you can also start, once you want to start optimizing, you go to the targeting group and you can click up here and it'll show you, placements. It'll show you where all the ads were shown. You can add negatives if you need to. Same thing with demographics. You can look and see, okay, wow, 35 to 44 is really converting a lot better, and the 18 to 24 is not at all. So let me just go ahead and pause those. So this is how you kind of fine tune and optimize the campaign along with continually testing your ads. All right, so go ahead and get rocking on that, and best of luck.